Known for beer, there is a brewery in almost every neighborhood here in Portland.
Not surprisingly, Portland ranks among the top 10 cities in the country in the number of breweries and bars per capita. But some of the original players on Portland's brewing scene have closed up shop. Emily Burris is digging deeper tonight on whether tastes are changing or if the market is too saturated.
It's not that exciting yet, but you know.
Over the past few years, Level Beer has grown in Northeast Portland, building up a steady base of local regulars as they experiment with an ever-changing spectrum of taps.
We want to have a beer for everybody, when they walk in the door.
Owners Jason Barbie, Jeff Phillips, and Shane Watterson brought together decades of experience from other Portland brewing ventures to open up their own shop.
When we kind of were telling friends and family and stuff we were doing that, we got a lot of like, Portland, really? Are you sure you want to open a brewery there? There's so many breweries.
But lessons learned are paying off. Over the past year, their production volume doubled. Their rise comes at a time of uncertainty in Portland's craft beer scene. Several breweries closing in 2018 and 2019 caught the attention of craft beer lovers, most notably Widmer Brothers' decision to shutter its brew pub and Bridgeport Brewing shutting down its entire operation.
I think if they had been spaced out by a couple of years, we might not have had the reaction of the gasp that we all collectively had.
Author Jeff Alworth has literally written the book on beer and says recent closures need context.
If you look at each one of the closures that we had, they don't resemble each other.
That being said, Portland's market is competitive and getting tighter.
There are definitely challenges that breweries are facing now they didn't see 10 years ago.
He says to survive, breweries need to rethink their business model, emphasizing things outside of just beer. Gone are the days of entire brands built around flagship beers.
Now we have one of the most educated consumer bases in the world, and they know what all these different beers are. They know what a porter is, they know what an IPA is, they know what a saison is, and they walk in and see a tap list of 20 or 30 beers. They're not looking for what's familiar, they're looking for what's new.
Smaller, more nimble breweries can actually have the edge, innovating and getting ideas on tap faster.
When we started out in Bridgeport and Widmer, there was less options. You cannot rest on your laurels in Portland, or you're in trouble.
Presenting a new and unique challenge to long-standing breweries like McMenamins, who worked with Widmer and Bridgeport more than 30 years ago, changing laws and laying the foundation for craft beer.
But these experts will tell you, while Portland's marketplace is certainly crowded, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Nationwide, craft beer makes up about 13% of the overall beer market. Let's call that 4 ounces. In Oregon, it's about double that. And more than 3/4 of the beer on draft in Oregon was made here in the state. The problem tends to come when companies try to grow and distribute in stores where they're fighting for premium shelf space.
The thing about opening a brew pub is you are not going to build the next Widmer empire. It's much more difficult to expand, to grow really rapidly and expand a regional or national footprint.
Older brands like McMenamins are weathering changing tastes by branching out.
Doing beers with coffee, because we have a coffee roaster, barrel aging with our distilleries barrels. We actually have those we don't have to buy them, they just roll down the hill to us. And you're even using the wine barrels.
Only the finest of Bavarian hops.
And with brewers at all levels continuing to innovate, craft beer numbers and production are still hitting all-time highs nationwide.
I think it helps to keep things interesting for the entire industry. And that's good for everybody.
It's difficult to know if the market will get bigger, if more people will drink beer, but if you look at the beer itself and the brewers themselves, the breweries that are opening today are extraordinary, and they're doing really interesting stuff.
So cheers to the future. Emily Burris, KOIN 6 News.